Yo, what is going on, guys? AMC STOCK here. Happy Friday. We have a 3-day weekend. I wanted to give a quick update video, Friday's update video on AMC and GameStop. All I ask in return is for you to smash that like, hit that subscribe button. We are also doing a new thing on the channel where you can drop your tickers down below. I will analyze them and put them in a YouTube short, whether I think it's a buy or sell, not financial advice. So make sure to drop your ticker down below and have post notifications on. Let's get into the video. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to go over is that institutions own 4.74% and others 95.26%, aka retail, hold the percentage of APE's free float. So this shows that only 4% or so of APEs actually sold APE. And this is actually a good thing because a lot of people aren't receiving their APE. And even if every single institution sold off their 4%, there wouldn't even be enough APE to go around and actually be put back into shareholders' accounts. So either way, this is just debunking the fact that there is not synthetics, so there is synthetics. The next thing is GameStop S&P credit ratings withdrawn at issuer's request. S&P writes, and I quote, S&P Global Ratings today withdrew all of its ratings on GameStop Corp., including our B issuer credit rating at the issuer's request. Our outlook on the company was stable at the time of the withdrawal. What does GameStop's credit rating withdrawal mean for investors? The most logical explanation is that GameStop paid back its last remaining debt due to the French government, and that GameStop is not looking for extra funding in the coming months. Some GameStop investors speculate on merger acquisition, but I consider this less likely. So that's the next thing I wanted to touch on. And the next thing is the shares on loan reaching an all-time high, 197.32 million shares of the float on AMC with a 4.27 days to cover. This is extremely high. An extremely high days to cover at 4.27 days. This is a metric to show you that if all shorts decided, yo, I want to get out of my position right now, it would take them longer than 4 days for all of them to close. So you would just see the stock running and running and running and running. This is not a metric to pay 100% attention to again, but it is definitely something to keep on the side of your mind, as the more it increases, the more dangerous it gets for shorts to be in the play, along with cost to borrow, yada, yada, yada. I also wanted to point out this random weird spike in the IV, the implied volatility on AMC. This hit at 12 o'clock today, so about 2.5 hours into market open. 31,000 put volume was here compared to 810 call volume. So whoever knew something that you didn't know. And if we pop over here on the 5-minute time frame, you'll see that most of them probably closed down here, right? They probably closed these positions down here when the SPY actually started getting a turnaround and a rip. So those people probably profited, or those institutions, because that is a high volume, those institutions probably profited. I also wanted to touch on this real quick since we are over at the chart. A lot of chop trading has been happening with AMC. It's been trading like absolute cat shit, right? It's APE and AMC, ever since APE came out, has been trading terribly. And I think, right, just the way this is trading is a chop period. We've been going over cycles on the channel, and usually when a cycle is delayed or shortened, right, prolonged or shortened, you have these chop cycles. And I think that this is to delay a cycle, in my opinion. We'll go over the TA in a second, but I wanted to touch on some numbers. So 65,000 shares available to borrow on GameStop with a 50% free float DRS, looking nice. 11.2% cost to borrow fee for 65,000 shares. Would like that fee to creep up a little bit more. Market makers took 71,000 call contracts out of the money, and they got some money out of that as well, with AMC short exempts stacked up as well over here. AMC, barely any shares available to borrow, and there's a 19.3% fee. So I would like that to continue to creep up, as utilization is still maxed out at 100. 4,000 call contracts in the money compared to 15,000 puts in the money. We did lose on this week, but the SPY was extremely bloody red. I didn't expect to win. I'm not even going to talk about BBBY in this video, but retail got absolutely obliterated, and market makers took a fat W this week on BBBY, sadly. Short exempts still decently high on AMC, right? Why not continuously short it when they're going to get a share recount anyway and make us cover? Let's suppress the shit out of the price, right? As for the cycles that we've been tracking on AMC, we can go over this real quick. I don't want to spend too much time on it because you guys already get what we're looking for on AMC. We will give another update video probably sometime this weekend. But if this cycle does play out the way it's drawn out, AMC is going to come back down and test this fib at about $6.20 next week. This is more likely if the SPY continues to bleed and break under 390, which will enter bear territory, like extreme bear territory. if it breaks that demand zone. However, if it doesn't, this can either get a pop or play out inverse. Overall, we're still looking into late September for AMC, GameStop, BBIG, SNDL. All of these plays, I think, will have their run in late September. But as for GameStop, we can touch on it real quick. I don't see anything happening with GameStop this week. It was absolutely just a bloody week. The SPY was bloody. And again, late September for that rip. But I do think leading up to that rip, GameStop will have a post rip. It's going to have a post rally, and it's going to be aggressive. But I wanted to touch on this real quick. So the S&P 500 came down to this trend line twice and touched it twice and got a bounce both times. It's extremely respecting this. If we do get a pop off of this, you could go back into bullish territory and break this long-term downtrend. Or you can double top. This is what I would consider neutral. Double top at 430, get a false breakout and a push back to the downside before a move into the bear market. But that would at least give us the SPY rally for small mid caps and short squeeze plays time to run. So I would be fine with either of those. Overall, we just want it to bounce off of this trend line. If the SPY breaks below and bleeds until about, September 20th, I would be fine with that as long as a rally comes right after, because this is what's going to help our squeeze plays overall. Now, someone in stream today was talking about how people on YouTube are saying the market is going to crash and AMC is going to go to $1, this, that, and the third. I wanted to point something out here, okay? If the market crashes, the sentiment does not change. I want to point out that the deepest fall in 2008, of September 2008, caused the largest squeeze that at least I know of, which is the Volkswagen squeeze. It caused this stock to squeeze up to over $1,000. Guess what? September of 08, the market crash. I don't think a market crash invalidates squeeze plays at all. If anything, a market crash or a market absurd bull rally is going to just feed into the sentiment even more, because what we're versing is hedge funds. They hedge. They're both ways. If one side gets over leveraged, it gets dangerous. But that is it, guys. I think that is all I wanted to touch on for this video. I want to touch on a few different tickers over the weekend: BBIG, Sundial, BBBY, and a few more PRTY that were mentioned in stream today. But hopefully you guys taken something out of this video. We're doing two new things where you drop a ticker down below, I make a short, yada yada yada. And then also, if you guys want to email me, I'll leave it right here. If you guys want to email me and promo your TikTok or your YouTube or your Instagram or your Twitter or your Discord, whatever it may be, we can talk something out through email and I'll put it up on a video. That is it, guys. Make sure to get your 10 free stocks linked down below by just depositing $100 and trading on Moomoo. I love you all. Lottery Stocks out.